evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Wednesday, May 31, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines this evening, decomposing bodies of mother-daughter found in Providence home. Another 5 more MAHDIA fire victims laid to rest. Drugs, knives, scissors among items found on East Coast Demerara students. EXXON ordered by EPA to provide unlimited liability coverage. 2 new tugboats launched to support local oil and gas sector. And GFS gets $273 million in equipment to enhance operations. Now for the news in detail. We begin tonight's newscast by telling you that the badly decomposing bodies of a mother and her child were found today in their Providence East Demerara home. In this LaWanda McAllister report, you will hear that crime scene investigators discovered bottles suspected to contain a poisonous substance in the house. Let's have a look.
The victims have been identified as Petrus Ross, 38 years old, unemployed, and her 13-year-old daughter Gabrielle Ross of North Georgetown Secondary School. The house had been rented by Petrus's husband, Mchal Lachman, for her and her daughter. According to Lachman, he and Petrus were married for 5 years before they separated in September last year.
This is a house we rent. So she contacted the owner via social media, and the owner is out of the country. She lives in some other country, right? So she said she would live here like 2-3 months, and she would find a next place to live.
Lachman said he last saw Petrus in January when he visited the house, but she refused to let him inside. Unsure of what to do, he decided to keep his distance. He related to reporters that in January, the owner of the house, who lives abroad, returned and requested to inspect the property, but the woman did not respond when he showed up at the residence. A police report was filed and an officer had accompanied a landlord to break open the door, after which the woman was inside the house in good health. Lachman was there and said he had not seen or heard from his wife since.
From then it's today. I was here. Why I came here too, because the owner again is in the country. She messaged me on Thursday. She's in the country, so and she need to see her house inside, from the inside. So I went back at the station, and we didn't get any police because I said it's a private matter. But the owner said she needs to see. She have the contract and it's her house, and I am the one that
rented the house.
Yes. So when we opened the wood door, they got a wood door.
That's today?
Yes. After I came back from the station, and we get a stench, and that was it. I got the station, and the police came.
The Evening News understands that the mother and daughter were both found in the back bedroom of the 1-story house with their bodies badly decomposed. Detectives also found a cup and what appeared to be a bottle that contains a poisonous substance. Lachman also told reporters that the woman's daughter was visually impaired. Police are continuing their investigations. LaWanda McAllister for the Evening News.
5 more victims of the MAHDIA Secondary School dormitory fire were laid to rest today. Grieving relatives and friends said their final goodbyes to twin sisters Mary and Martha Danrad, Omifia Edwin and Yolanda Carter at their home village of Chenapao, Region 8 this morning. Meanwhile, 5-year-old Adanye Jerome, the son of the dorm parents who was also killed in the late-night fire, was also buried today following a funeral service at the Eccles Assembly of God Church on the east bank of Demerara. The toddler was buried at the Lee Repentir Cemetery in Georgetown. Ministers Kwame McCoy and Pauline Sukay, along with Speaker of the National Assembly Mansour Nadir, attended Jerome's funeral service. The May 21 fire killed 19 female students between the ages of 12 and 17 and the 5-year-old boy. The Guyana Police Force has stated that the fire was started by one of the female students at the dorm after her cellular phone was taken away by the dorm's mother and a teacher. She has since been charged and remanded to the Juvenile Holding Center. Even as it continues to fight in the Court of Appeal to overturn the High Court order, the Environmental Protection Agency has issued an enforcement notice to compel ExxonMobil Guyana to provide unlimited liability parent company guarantee for its Stabroek Block holdings. Gerald Bryan joins us with the details.
Last month, High Court Judge Sandil Kissoon had ruled that the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, must order EXXON to provide unlimited parent company guarantee in the Stabroek block. However, even as its appeal of that decision goes forward, the EPA lost its bid to stay Justice Kissoon's order. As a consequence, the agency has issued the enforcement notice to the U.S. oil major. This was confirmed when its newscast made contact with EPA Executive Director Kemraj Parsram. In fact, Parsram maintained that the agency issued a notice as of May 9, 2023, in compliance with Justice Kissoon's order. In the meantime, EPA continues to fight to overturn Kissoon's ruling at the level of the Court of Appeal. During Wednesday's hearing before Court of Appeal Judge Rishi Prasad, Senior Counsel Sina Jairam had claimed that EPA and EXXON were in contempt of court. However, this was refuted by Attorney-at-Law Sanjeev Dattadin, EPA's lawyer, who also confirmed in court that the enforcement notice was issued. It is meanwhile expected that Justice Prasad will provide a date for his ruling by next week. Jarrell Bryan, The Evening News.
The Guyana Police Force has carried out Operation Shakedown, a lecture and search exercise at secondary schools on the east coast of Demerara, during which several prohibited items were discovered. The police's East Coast Demerara Division, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education's Schools Welfare Department and teachers, commenced the operation on Tuesday with the aim of tackling antisocial behaviors exhibited by students in schools. Random searches and lectures were conducted at the Lancaster Secondary, Annandale Secondary, Buxton Secondary, Bladen Hall Multilateral, Ansgrove Secondary, Hope Secondary, and Golden Grove Secondary schools on the east coast of Demerara as part of the collaborative effort. Students' bags were searched in the presence of the headmasters or mistresses and welfare officers, and several prohibited items were found. The police force said suspected cannabis, knives, condoms, lighters, scissors, screwdrivers, spanners, and needles were confiscated. On the lecture side of the exercise, topics such as violence and crime committed at schools, gang fighting, taking offensive weapons to school, the consequences of using offensive weapons at school, being on the streets after school, respect for teachers, and cybercrimes were discussed. Coming up on the other side of the break, GFS gets $273 million in equipment to enhance operations, and 2 new tugboats launched to support local oil and gas sector. Please stay tuned.
Just so good, cheesy's the taste is just so good. Cheesy's are the one and only, so cheesy, crunchy, give me one please. Sunshine Snacks Cheesy's, it's just so good. The whole crowd that's a cheesy, so cheesy, just so good. Yes, fella, can you feel me? Sunshine Snacks, just so good. Number one taste, the whole place I say, just so good. Cheesy's the taste is just so good. Cheesy's are the one and only, so cheesy, crunchy, give me one please. Sunshine Snacks Cheesy's, it's just so good.
Sally's Boutique is the place to shop when looking for quality high-end men and women footwear, wristwear, wallets, and clothing. Follow us on Instagram, Sally's Boutique GY. We're located at Charlotte Street between Camp and Wellington Streets. Contact us on 231-7519. That's 231-7519. WhatsApp 613-9578. That's 613-9578. Sally's Boutique, the new home of Clark's.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Know your polling station before Elections Day. GCOM is urging all voters to find out the polling stations where they are registered to vote at the upcoming local government elections. GCOM has established an Office of the Returning Officer in every local authority area. You can visit the office of the returning officer to find out at which polling station you are registered to vote. GCOM has also posted the registers of voters and lists of polling stations on its website www.gcom.org.gy. Visit the GCOM website and enter your ID number in the cell provided for this purpose to get clear directions about the location of your polling station where you can vote. For more information, contact the GCOM hotlines on 225-027729, 226-6557 or 223-9650 or visit www.gcom.org.gy. LGE is Monday, June 12.
Moving, lifting, or bending, whatever the job, we at Sylvie's Variety Store have the right tools to make it happen. Pallet jacks and hand trucks for bonds and industrial sites, easy pickup and convenient maneuvers. Chain hoist from Roughneck and Northern Industrial, the perfect solution to lifting heavy objects. And then there's the 12-ton and 16-ton hydraulic pipe benders from half to 2 inch. We also stock the shop press machine from Northern Industrial. Sylvie's Variety Store stocks the tools to make it happen.
Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe. For bid, performance, retention, advanced mobilisation or customs bonds, bond with us. Fuel your success. Call 223-0840 or visit premierinsurance.gy. Premier Insurance. Premier insurance coverage.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. The Guyana Fire Service's capacity has received a significant boost through the acquisition of firefighting equipment worth over $273 million from the Ministry of Home Affairs. Luana McAllister has the details.
On Wednesday, keys to the equipment were handed over by the British High Commissioner to Guyana, Jane Miller, to Minister of Home Affairs, Robertson Ben. Subsequently, Chief Fire Officer Acting Gregory Wickham took possession of the equipment. The enhanced inventory comprises a hydraulic platform valued at $255 million sourced from Angloco, as well as an $8 million bus and a $9.8 million ambulance.
This is a hydraulic truck that takes a platform up to 45 meters, which is a huge asset for the fire service, and so I'm delighted today that we're handing over this asset to government, and we're thinking of you at this time as you're really looking to upgrade the fire service to be a world-class fire service as this country deserves.
At the handing over ceremony, Minister Ben said that though the equipment will boost the fire service's capabilities, it comes at a time when Guyana lost 20 children and several others are injured due to a major fire at the MAHDIA Secondary School dormitory in Region 8.
Even though we have been working at improving inspections and taking new measures, affected of course too by COVID, because the visit by Angloco was delayed by issues of COVID. It is still a difficult time, and vicariously that the visit comes and the work that they have done over the past 2 weeks to bring up particular pieces of equipment which are down, and also work with us to bringing in these new equipment, that it is indeed occurring at this extremely difficult and emotional time.
Nevertheless, the security minister said that the experience should be an eye-opener and that the fire service needs more training and support.
We have to, of course, learn from the experience. We have to lean on other fire services and on providers like Angloco, to learn from them, to acquire the best equipment, to get maintenance support, so that we can use the equipment we have in a more efficacious way. The acquisition of the new ladder truck, for want of a better word, is in response to the fact that we are having new high-rise buildings in the country, that the building construction, the mode has changed, and therefore the responses in relation to fire protection has to be different and new.
On May 21st, more than a week ago, over 50 female students were present in the dormitory at the MAHDIA Secondary School when a major fire broke out, killing 20 children. Days following the horrific incident, the Guyana Police Force disclosed that the fire was started by one of the female students at the dorm after her cellular phone was taken away by the dorm's mother and a teacher. The teenager was later slapped with 19 murder charges. Reporting for the Evening News, Lawanda McAllister.
Aiming to advance the country's emerging oil and gas sector, Gboats Guyana, a joint venture company, today launched 2 new tugboats at its wharf in Kingston, Georgetown. Pooja Rambaran was there and filed this report.
Gboats is an oil and gas offshore support terminal born from a joint venture between Guyanese-owned John Fernandez Limited and U.S.-based Edison West Offshore. President of ExxonMobil Guyana, Alistair Routledge, remarked that this launch symbolizes not only Guyana's ongoing development, but also the growing partnership between these two parent companies.
The 2 vessels that we're here to celebrate the naming of today symbolize that partnership. I think the deepening of the relationship between the companies, but also between the countries of the US, specifically Louisiana, as we heard, that has a lot of similarities and cultural ties to Guyana. That partnership, we also heard, for ExxonMobil and Edison West goes back many, many decades. And it's a recognition that much though the oil and gas, the energy business is a global business, it is also a business that ultimately comes down to some very key companies and trusted relationships.
He added that these tugboats will aid in the transport of cargo within the operations of floating production, storage, and offloading vessels, FPSOs.
These tugs helping bring the tankers and moor them to the FPSOs to take the cargoes and deliver the crude to the markets overseas.
The names of the boats, Arinra and Madame Kalina, were selected by St. Ignatius Secondary School student Raymond DeCambra and Brickdam Secondary School student Kaylin Duncan, respectively. This came after Gboats, in collaboration with the Education Ministry, launched a tugboat naming competition last March within several schools across the country. Ross Truest of Edison West Offshore commended the students on their contribution.
Raymond, your suggestion of Arinra immediately captivated our attention. Derived from the Makushi tribe, it refers to an electric eel and embodies strength, resilience, and the spirit of exploration. Kaylin, your contribution of Madame Kalina struck a chord with us all. This name is a testament to the indomitable spirit and grace of the Kalina people, the indigenous inhabitants of your land. It symbolizes their deep connection to nature, wisdom, and their unwavering determination to preserve their culture.
Meanwhile, Education Minister Priyag Manichan, named the vessel's godmother, noted that these resources will add to the advancement of Guyana.
Now that we have the resources that have become very topical, I believe we have the human resources needed to make sure this country advances all across the country. Everyone benefits, everyone's life improves, every community is addressed.
Pooja Rambaran for the Evening News.
The Ministry of Public Works has stated that temporary repairs have been completed to the breached St. Cuthbert's Mission Main Road, thus allowing for vehicular passage into the community from the Sioux-Dike-Linden Highway. More in this report.
This was the road that we drive and come in St. Cuthbert Mission, and this is what happening. So I guess we are staying here for the night.
That was a video shared on social media over the weekend of a breach on the main access road leading into St. Cuthbert's Mission. There were at least 2 other breaches along the trail. However, the Public Works Ministry said on Tuesday that its team worked on the 3 breaches sections of the road. These temporary works were done in collaboration with the REO of Region 4 as the ministry worked towards a more permanent solution to the issue. The ministry is urging persons traversing the area to do so with much care and caution, especially during the current rainy season. Nevertheless, the Public Works Ministry also indicated that work is progressing assiduously on the design for the rehabilitation of those critical sections of the main road. Simultaneously, the cost or engineer's estimate is also being prepared for this upcoming project. Only recently, 18 community participation contracts totaling nearly $90 million were signed for the commencement of infrastructural works in St. Cuthbert's Mission. President Dr. Irfan Ali had committed to fixing the community roads during a visit to the community in March this year. Lawanda McAllister reporting for the Evening News.
Coming out of the summit of South American leaders in Brazil, a number of decisions have been taken, including one to establish a high-level group featuring representatives of various countries who will collaborate and map out a pathway to accelerate South American integration. Gerald Bryan reports.
A number of proposals on the way forward were agreed to during the summit of South American leaders in Brazil on Tuesday, where President Dr. Irfan Ali represented Guyana. One such proposal was the establishment of a high-level group that will come up with a strategy to increase South American integration. This high-level group will be comprised of representatives of the various countries, led by the respective foreign ministers. Upon completion of their work, these proposals will be submitted to the respective heads of state for consideration. The merits of UNISOR, which last met with its full complement of leaders in 2014, was also agreed on by the leaders. According to the leaders, there is need for an inclusive and permanent platform where dialogue can be exchanged and the region can be represented to the wider world. A commitment was also made to work towards increasing trade and investments in the region with the aim of maintaining a South American free trade area. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Thursday, June 1st, 2023 at 2 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 14 hours 20 on Thursday, June 1st, 2023, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
Guyana Amazon Warriors retain 9 players for CPL 2023. This and more coming up in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
Are you a sports fan? Place your sport betting bets today for your chance to win up to $15 million per coupon. Visit any agent near you or www.superbet.gy and place your bets. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly. Superbet, your best bet.
Come visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles.
The voting process. When you go to the polling station to vote on local government elections day, you will follow these steps. Step 1. Check the official list of voters at the polling station to ensure you are listed there to vote. Step 2. Present your ID card to the GCOM official. Your ID card will be verified along with your name, address, ID number, and photograph on a folio that will be at the polling station. Step 3. The GCOM official will check your fingers for electoral ink and, if none is found, give you a ballot paper and provide directions for marking and folding it. The GCOM official must stamp the back of your ballot paper at the top half and bottom half with the 6-digit number of the polling station. Step 4. Proceed to the voting compartment to mark your ballot and fold it as you were shown. Step 5. Show the folded ballot to the clerk. Dip your finger in the electoral ink and place your ballot paper into the ballot box. Step 6. Peacefully leave the polling station. For more information, contact the GCOM hotlines on 225-0277-9, 226-6557 or 223-9650 or visit www.gcom.org.gy. LGE is Monday, June 12th.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site